practices. What really differentiates yoga from physical exercise is the inner awareness and breath control. So don't let your mind wander, keep the awareness within you, focus your mind on your breath, and visualize part of body you're exercising. That is what will bring maximum benefit through yoga. That is what really is yoga. Otherwise, it's just plain and simple exercise. Yoga is designed to increase energy of communication in body system. It stimulates better immune system and body's repair mechanism. It makes you feel better. But the same set of palliative yoga exercises also has a therapeutic effect, and Dr. Rajan has innovated on a very unique yoga therapy method called measured yoga therapy, where we measure how the nadis on our fingertips are performing. And on the basis of that, we can recommend some very targeted exercises that can benefit your particular condition. So if any of you have any condition you want to talk about, you can email me or you can email Jashi Prakash, and that'll be the best way to take it forward. The email addresses are right here. Close to 1,000 people have gone through our yoga therapy program, and people with complex illnesses and comorbidities have had substantial benefit through our yoga therapy program. Points to note about today's yoga class. First and foremost, please follow instructions to avoid any adverse reactions. Important instruction is to keep your spine straight and take support if needed. And do your practices gently without strain. If it is too much strain on the body, then it's not yoga by definition. Also, there is a limit in duration or count. Please follow it. When you have doubt, avoid the practice or seek clarification. But remember that the liability is entirely yours. Do not multitask or merge two exercises. The slower you do, the better it is for you. The other very important thing is regular discipline practice. So if you miss a day, use the video recording from our yoga channel on YouTube, Life in Yoga Rajan, where we broadcast our sessions live and it's saved there automatically. Remember that yoga is not just physical exercise, it's a lot more than that, but it's not a religious practice either. So people from all religions are welcome. Yoga brings good health of mind and body. It brings inner awareness and a sense of cosmic connection. And with that, I'll welcome you all to our yoga family, and I will let Dr. Rajan start today's session.
Namaste, everyone. As usual, we begin with 3 ohms. Let's take a deep breath in. We go on to the chakra vibrations. And just a reminder for everyone, at the end of the session today, we will have the discussion from 7 to 7:30. So bring your awareness to the perineum and pressing on the little finger with the thumb. Let's begin with the mantra LUM. Take a deep breath. LUM. 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 Release the finger, and one last time. Bring the awareness 1 inch above the perineum, and there we do Vam, pressing on the ring finger with the thumb. Vam. Vam. Release the finger, continue. Now bring the awareness behind the navel, and there we do Ram, pressing on the middle finger. Ram. Ram.
Ram.
Now release the fingers and continue. Bring the awareness to the middle of the chest, in between the breasts, and here we do Yam, pressing on the index finger.
Yum. Yum.
Release the fingers and continue. Last time. At the throat, we do hum, thumbs up, loose fist. Release the hand. Continue. Hum. Middle of the head, we do chum. Thumbs up. Loose fist.
Chum.
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 Now, bring the awareness to the top of the head. We do Om, again thumbs up. Release the hands and continue. Last time. Now, let's go on to the happy face breathing, the Ujjayi Pranayama. So, those of you who know it, please proceed. And those of you who know how to do it, if you wanted to stimulate your wrist or your palms, you can stretch out the palms, or you can put a little bit weight with the palms or towards pressed on the floor. But remember one thing, once you put your hand there, forget about it. The only focus should be on the throat, not in the hand. So now, for those of you who need instruction on doing the Ujjayi Pranayama, bring your awareness to the bottommost part of the mouth, where the mouth meets the neck, and the hole through which food and air passes down, keeping your attention there. Make a big smile. As you make a big smile and the cheeks pull out, you will feel a slight stretch in the throat. Keeping your focus on the stretch, inhale and exhale in a comfortable way. And observe as you inhale, right at the throat, it feels like a mild sucking sensation, like there is a straw there. And when you exhale, it feels like a reverse sucking sensation. Please continue. If your video is on, I'll be checking you. Now we go on to the respiratory mantra. Bring your awareness in the middle of the chest behind the sternum. And from there, feel a flow go upward and out of the top of the head. And the flow feels like the mantra Haim Im Am. Haim Im Am. So feel it flow Haim Im Am, Haim Im Am, Haim Im Am. Continue. Now, bring your awareness to the chest. Focus on the chest or the lungs, this area, and mentally vibrate Haim, 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 Haim. And let's do that for a couple of minutes. Now we go on to our spinal alignment exercise, starting with the neck. Just a reminder, today our focus is going to be on spinal health. So we will do all the exercises relevant to the spinal health, and we'll follow up with the spinal mantra. So take a deep breath in. And if you want, you can keep your hands behind your back if you want it to be a little more intense in the stretch. Take a deep breath in, expand the chest and pull back the shoulders. And as you exhale, gently tilt your head, bringing one ear towards the shoulder. Inhale and feel the chest expand again. And as you exhale, feel the tilt towards the other side, and continue. Last exhalation. Inhale, come back. And as you exhale, turn the head and look over one shoulder. Inhale, come back, expand the chest, and exhale, turn the other way, and continue. Last exhalation, inhale, come back to the center. And with the next inhalation, lift up the chin and go all the way back. As you exhale, bring the chin down towards the chest and continue. Last exhalation, bring the chin down towards the chest. Then you can release your hands if you're holding it behind the back. And then we go 360 degrees around the neck. Inhale, half a circle. And exhale, complete the circle and continue. Last exhalation. And once you complete the circle, let's go in the opposite direction. Last exhalation. Now we go to the shoulder exercise. Inhale, lift up one shoulder. Exhale, rotate it back and bring it down. Inhale, lift up the other shoulder. Exhale, rotate it back and bring it down, and continue. Last inhalation and last exhalation. Now raise your hands up, palm facing the floor. Stretch the hands out. Inhale, palms up and stretch out the fingers. Exhale, thumb in and a downward facing fist. Inhale and exhale. Continue. Last inhale and exhale. Keep the fist and go around the wrist. Inhale half a circle and exhale the other half and continue. Last exhalation. Now let's go reverse. Last exhalation. And now elbows in line with the shoulders with a loose fist. Inhale, go around the wrist, open out the palms, and exhale, bring it down into a fist again. Inhale and exhale. Last exhalation. Let's go reverse. Last inhalation and last exhalation. Interlock the fingers and bring it behind the head. And as you exhale, twist to one side. Inhale, come back. Exhale, twist the other way. Inhale, come back, and continue. Last exhalation. Inhale, come back. Now, get your elbows behind the head, opposite elbows. And as you exhale, pull on one elbow. Inhale, come back. Exhale the other way. Inhale, come back up, and continue. Last exhalation, inhale, release. Now get hold of the hands behind the back. Take a deep breath in, pull back the shoulders. And as you exhale, twist the spine to one side. Inhale, come back. Exhale the other way. Inhale, come back. Last exhalation, inhale, come back. Now, let's get hold of the hips behind the back. And as you inhale, push on one hand and make a backward arch. And exhale, come forward. Inhale the other side. And exhale, come forward. Continue. Last inhalation and last exhalation. Now we can cross one leg over the other and get hold of the knee on the top. And as you exhale, cross it over and pull it closer to you and the head turns the other way. Inhale, release. Exhale, pull and turn. Last exhalation, pull and turn. Inhale, release, and we cross over the other leg.
Mana po mai. Anggia. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Last exhalation, pull and turn. Release. Now, let's stand up and we will do bending of the knees. So those of you who need to hold, you can hold your chair, and as you inhale, bend at the knee, exhale, come up. Now let's bend at the hips. Those of you who don't have good balance, please sit on the chair, and the others can stand up. Bring the hands behind the back. Keep the feet shoulder width or a little more apart, with the inside of the feet parallel to each other. Take a deep breath in, lift up the chin and pull back the shoulders. And as you exhale, push out the butt and lean forward. And keep the chin up and the shoulder pulled back all the time. And inhale and exhale and observe the sensations from the bottom of the feet to the hips. Slowly inhale and come up and take your seat. And now we go on to the alternate nostril breathing if you need it. But first, observe how the flow of the air is in the two nostrils. And if it is about the same, bring your awareness in the middle of the brain, just behind the top of the forehead. And as you inhale, feel the awareness go there. And as you exhale, feel a cascade of awareness going down towards the hands and feet. And if you find that the breath is different on the two sides, you can do the alternate nostril breathing with visualization. Now we are ready for the spinal mantra. So here we go. We do the 7 mantras from the feet and ankle to the knees to the lowermost part of the spine, which is in between the buttocks and the back, and then the lumbar spine, the thoracic spine, the cervical spine in the neck, and then in the back of the head, in the very top, called the Shikha point. The mantra for the feet and neck are the same, that is Aim. Now let us begin from the feet and ankle with mantra Aim, moving to knees where we vibrate Shim, and move on to the base of the spine where we do Jim. Aim, Shim, 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 Jim. I'm Shim 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 Jim. Now we move from the base of the spine to the lumbar region, then to the thoracic or the back region of the spine with Jim, Jime, Haim. So let's go. Jim, Jime, Haim. 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 Now we move from the thoracic spine to the spine and the neck to the back of the head with Haim, Aim, Om. Let's go. Haim, Aim, Om. 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 Now we do all the 7 mantras in sequence, starting from the feet and ankle. Aim, Shim, Jim, Jime, Haim, Aim, Om. 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 I'm Shim Jim Jam Haim I'm 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 Om.
I'm Shim Jim Jam I'm Om. I'm Shim Jim Jam I'm Om. I'm Shim Jim Jam I'm Om. I'm Shim Jim Jam I'm Om. I'm Shim Jim Jam I'm Om. I'm Shim Jim Jam I'm Om. I'm Shim Jim Jam I'm Om. I'm Shim Jim Jam I'm Om. I'm Shim Jim Jam I'm Om. I'm Shim Jim Jam I'm Om. I'm Shim Jim Jam I'm Om. I'm Shim Jim Jam I'm Om. I'm Shim Jim Jam I'm Om. I'm Shim Jim Jam 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 Ham I'm 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 Om. I'm Shim Jim Jam Ham I'm.
Now we go on to the Bhastrika Pranayam. So get ready with the hand position, either over the belly or loose fist with elbows by the side of the chest. And let's go. 1, inhale. Exhale. 2, exhale. 3, exhale. 4, exhale. 5, exhale. 6, exhale. 7, exhale. 8, exhale. 9, exhale. 10, exhale. 11, exhale. 12, exhale. 13, exhale. 14, exhale. 15, exhale. 16, exhale. 17, exhale. 18, exhale. 9, exhale. And 20, exhale. Bring down the hands, keep the eyes closed. Observe the sensations within. Let's go on to the next round. Exhale. 2, exhale. 3, exhale. 4, exhale. 5, exhale. 6, exhale. 7, exhale. 8, exhale. 9, exhale. 10, exhale. 11, exhale. 12, exhale. 30, exhale. 40, exhale. 50, exhale. 60, exhale. 70, exhale. 80, exhale. 90, exhale. 20, exhale. Bring down the hand. Keep the eyes closed. Let's go on to the last round. Loose fist. Let's go. 1, exhale. 2, exhale. 3, exhale. 4, exhale. 5, exhale. 6, exhale. 7. Exhale. 8. Exhale. 9. Exhale. And 10. Exhale. 11. Exhale. 12. Exhale. 30. Exhale. 40. Exhale. 50. Exhale. 60. Exhale. 70. Exhale. 80. Exhale. 90. Exhale. 20. Exhale. Bring down the hands. Keep the eyes closed and observe the sensations within. Mentally tell yourself, I give up all ideas and concepts and I care about nothing. I let go of everything. I let go of everything. If you have a personal mantra, focus on it. If you don't have a personal mantra, then focus on a visualization rising from the middle of the chest and going out of the top of the head. And there is a vibration associated with that visualization. Haim Im Om. And we will play Om in the background as you do Haim Im Om. Mentally affirm to yourself, may I be guided to fulfill the purpose for which I am born. Recognize yourself as an instrument of the divine flow. And you're here only to fulfill the purpose for which you are born. And with that as the thought, become aware of your senses from the top of the head all the way down to the bottom of the feet. And whenever you are ready to open your eyes, raise the palms of your hands and bring it a few inches in front of your face and look straight into the palm of your hands. So with that, we end the meditation. And today is the discussion session. So the thought for the discussion is the continuation from last time. The question was about the difference between self-realization, going beyond rebirth, and today I will talk about different traditions, about how people, how different traditions deal with it. So if you have any questions, you can ask. I will begin with an introductory overview, and then you can ask questions and we can further the discussion. So as an introductory overview of what we covered last time, self-realization and going beyond rebirth are not the same thing. If you have your focus beyond the physical world, you're focused on any entity that is no longer alive, and if you don't have any more programs to come back to the physical body, no attachment to the physical world, you're not reborn. However, it doesn't mean you have self-realization, which means you've been able to meditatively connect and know what is the nature of existence all about. And this is what in the Yoga Sutras, Patanjali points out, and he recognizes that it is the Atma Vidya, or the awareness of what nature of existence is all about, when it is 100% in a person or near 100% in a person, the person becomes non-reactive to things, and all the programs within are expended, and the person does not come back to another birth. However, even if it is not near 100%, even if the Atma Vidya is high enough, 50%, 70%, because most common people walk with less than 1%, 1 to 10% of Atma Vidya. So even if it is 50%, 70%, then what happens is if the person has any fixation in any form less than the highest God, or namely the source of all creation, from which everything comes, the source that sustains everything, the person will not be self-realized, but the person will go beyond rebirth. And if there are no attachments to anything, which is not possible, because if people have attachment to some a form of spirit, God, something that is not the highest, they will never be dissolved. They will only reach that state. So that is the reason for people who have attachments of whatever form, the services that are done, the Shraddha or the death services that are done, and the anniversary offerings that are done, it is for that spirit to break its affinities and to become part of the cosmic vibration, so that there is no entity left after that. So in different traditions, there are different ways in which people are taught to let go of all the attachments, regrets within, and things like that. So that's where I'm jumping to next. If we examine the tradition of Christianity, of Islam, there is the concept of one God that is beyond name and form. In Judaism, and if you think in terms of the Vedanta, where the concept of God is beyond name and form. And yet what happens is people often get attached to different forms of God, Shiva, Krishna, Ganpati, things like that. In all these traditions, Shiva is looked upon as the highest God, not somebody who has a form like that. And so this way, once one recognizes by whatever name you keep, that is really the source of everything, there is no problem. However, when you reach the higher stage, you also realize the form doesn't matter and you let go of it. And this is the reason, even in such tradition as Buddhism, which is considered non-theistic, they will say, if you meet the Buddha, slay the Buddha. Only then you will realize the highest. So this is the nature by which you can reach the highest. Anytime you're fixated, you will not. But the starting process of cleansing a person really starts with much lower elements. It all comes out of expectations within. So when you have expectations, either you're overjoyed or you have regrets. And because something didn't happen the way you wanted, right? So what happens is, if you do anything in order because you have expectations, you want something, you do something, and you do something that is not exactly correct. That, let's say you say a lie, you do something that is inappropriate. Then in which case what happens? In every situation, if you keep it as a regret within you, it will come to haunt you. It will become a program and a cause for rebirth. So in the Christian tradition, in the Christian Catholicism, Roman Catholicism, you have a way of going and confessing to the priest, and you lighten the burden within you. In modern day, you go to a psychiatrist or a psychologist, and you have a way of unburdening yourself and letting go. And in the Indian system, annually, there is one day where when people change their sacred thread, they go and do the what they call is the Kamokarishi Mahamantra Japa. They do it for 1,008 times. It's mentally it's just an affirmation like the Gayatri Mantra. And what they do is, in the affirmation, they say, whatever I have done has been done because of desire and anger. I am not desire or anger, and I am not the doer. The anger and desire is the doer, and I have nothing to do with it. That is what you affirm for yourself. And so this actually, the full form in Sanskrit, is explained in the 4th chapter of the Taittiriya Upanishad called Mahanarayana Upanishad, where the full form goes as, some of you understand Sanskrit, so I will say it. Kamo karishin namo namaha, kamak karoti naham karomi, kamak karta naham karta, kamak kareta naham kareta, eshate kama kamaya swaha. Manyurakarishin namo namaha, manyuk karoti naham karomi, manyuk karta naham karta, manyuk karita naham karita, eshate manyo manyave swaha. So in other words, you're attributing everything to desire and anger. And I am not desire and anger. I am not the one who is doing it. It is desire and anger doing it, and I have nothing to do with it. I let them go. So the thing is, basically, it is very, very important to let things go, because they all come from attachment. So now I see a question over here. I would prefer when you have a question, simply raise your hands by clicking on that raise hand at the bottom of your screen. And I would like you to ask the question yourself instead of posting it over here. But I will say it over here for Sunanda Vunnava has asked the question, what about women, right? And the answer is very simple. In the Vedic system as it has come about, it is very interesting. It is very old times, particularly during the time of Rama, women also had the sacred thread. And women used to give the same kind of offerings that are done. And as per the Bhagavata Puran and how it is explained, there is at one time Indra killed a Brahmin. And so it is the Vritrasura Vadha or something like that that comes. And after which women no longer were doing that. But what happens is, when they say from the Vedic perspective, all women should get married, whereas that's not the same thing for men. And what happens is, at the time of marriage or just before the marriage, the sacred thread becomes double. There is a second strand. Actually, the sacred thread has 3 strands. That makes it 1. The next 3 is the second one. And then at the time of their first pregnancy, a third one is added. So the man is supposed to do the first 3 strands are for the man. The second is for just before the marriage given is also for the spouse. And the third one is for all the minor children who are there till they have not come of age, until women are, that is, daughters are not married off, you do for them. So that is the concept that comes from the Vedic system. So Sunandaji, any questions?
Thank you so much. Yes.
Oh, you're welcome. Okay. So Naresh, go ahead.
So you said expectations, let it go. I'm a little bit confused in this. I mean, expectation. I have an expectations from my children and attachment at the same time. Letting it go is a little tough. I mean, to my family, to my friends, or my community, or cosmos, or whatever you can call it. It's just a little bit. Maybe I'm not a philosopher. Maybe I'm not a philosophy student. I'm a biologist. Maybe that's why my understanding problem.
I understand where you're coming from. I've answered this question before. When the Atma Vidya reaches a certain threshold, then automatically expectations and reactivity go down. And the Patanjali Yoga Sutras explains that that is the root cause that affects this, having expectations and affected by not, when the expectations are not being met. Tammy, you would like to ask a question? Go ahead.
Thank you for taking it. I was wondering, so when you said the Catholic, I'm thinking Christianity in general, and if they release give us forgiveness for our overreaction and stuff, what does Hail Mary do? Is that a false god then, when they tell you for your penance to do Hail Marys? Is that like worshiping then to a new god?
Or what do they say, do Hail Mary?
For your penance, for your sin that you created, so you do 50 Hail Marys?
I don't know enough about Catholicism for that, to answer that question. But there is one thing that is very similar in Roman Catholicism that is similar to the Vedic system that is done. There is a concept of people not attaining, the highest. And so they say the soul resides in the purgatory, and they give the priest money to, go and do various things in order for that soul to be purged off, and so that the soul can go. So that concept is there in Catholicism too.
That's a little crooked, but yeah, I was just talking about purgatory last night with a friend. So thank you for all of your insight and everything.
Okay.
I have a question, Dr. Rajan.
1 second. Who was that?
Anjana Patel.
Yeah, 1 second. There are two
Okay.
people who have raised the hand. After that, I'll come to you. Suresh, yes, Purohit, go ahead. We don't hear you, Suresh Purohit. You have to unmute.
My question is like karma bandhan. When you say that I am not doing anything by anything done by my mind or something, so that way the karma bandhan is not tied up. So is that right? We leave everything. God is doing. I'm not doing anything. My karma bandhan won't tied up.
If you truly believe in that, that is true.
Other question I have, Yusuf Ram, how many years before the Krishna Ram was born? I mean, there are a lot of discussion about that. You know anything about?
No, I don't. The thing is basically, if you can look up the work of this person called Nilesh Oak, and he's from Boston. He has done a lot of research on this subject, trying to date all of these things. So that will be the best thing. I am not an authority on that subject.
Okay. And what about Jainism? Jainism was born before Hinduism, or it's independent offshoot of Hinduism?
No. Jainism came much later, because you see what happens is Nilesh Oak, as he has done a very careful dating of the Mahabharata war. Okay, and Jainism is known to have come from the period that is, you see, at the time when the Mahabharata war took place, and the Vyasa was over there, is somewhere about close to 5,500 years back. Okay. And the Jainism is probably around 4,500 years back.
I see.
Okay. And then if you look at Buddhism, it's like 3,000 years back. Right? Actually, 2,500 years back. Okay. So like 500 BC. So that is the time factor. But yeah, okay. So let's go to Subramanian Kumar. You have a question?
Yeah, I'm referring to the tradition of holy thread. In my case, I got one when I was a bachelor, and then one as soon as I got married. And the third set I got only when my father passed away, not when my wife became pregnant with the first child. I don't know if there is anything to do with family sampradaya or whatever. So I didn't understand why. Now I understand what you're saying. It makes sense to me.
Well, actually, this is something that, you know, different people do. In fact, what it is thought of is the third set of thread when is for the children when they are minors. And once they have gone independent on their own, then in which case they don't have the need because they have taken care, girls are married and the husbands take care, the boys have their own sacred thread and they're gone. Then at that time, the third one becomes what you do for your ancestors to, you know, for them. So it is only the transition of the same thing for that purpose.
Okay, thank you.
But sacred thread is for Brahmin. They are wearing sacred thread.
No. That's a misconception.
Okay.
The thing is basically in the Vedic system, everybody is eligible for it except people who have no ability to think and perform as normal human beings.
Okay.
There is no question of, you know, it is a practice that everybody is eligible for. But what has happened is people who come from traditional Brahmin families have kept the system going. Whereas people who have come from other families, some families have kept it, some families have not.
Well,
and
like
slowly it has fallen
like
off.
I'm Brahmin. I'm wearing my thread all the time, and we have like in 3 layers, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, and there is Granthi, there are nine Devatas staying there. So I'm wearing all the time 24 hours as a Brahmin family and priest. So
Very good. So now, Anjana ji, go ahead. Anjana Parekh, please unmute yourself.
I got 50% answer because I am Nagar, but I married in a Baniya businessman. And is it only Brahmin people take this thread or other people can wear it?
Everybody can wear it. There is no, bar. In fact, what it is it used to be, let's understand this concept. There is nothing called caste. There is only called your orientation. And what are the orientations? Unthinking nature is called a Chudra. When you're self-centered, group-centered, humanity-centered or cosmic-centered, then that is all fine. Self-centered is Vaishya. The people who are group-centered, community-centered, society-centered, they are called Kshatriyas. And people whose mind are existence-centered are called Brahmanas. If you say you're born in a Brahmana family, that doesn't mean you're a Brahmin.
Okay.
But if your father was that way, cosmic centered, whereas if you're more interested in doing your business and making more money, if that's your this thing, then in which case you're by nature you may be a Vaishya. And if you are a person who is caring for society and donating a lot of money and very concerned about how others are living, then you will be a Kshatriya. So by birth, nobody is a Brahmin or any of these things. Okay, so and that is why in the Vedic system, everyone is eligible. Anybody who can think, a person who is a Shudra is defined as somebody who does not have the ability to think. So when you have children who are born in families who are handicapped, they are not given sacred thread. They are considered Shudra. Okay, but that is the traditional system. But of course, many people don't understand the traditional spiritual system. They think in terms of, family, I'm a Brahmin family, I'm a Brahmin. No, that's not the way it is. Okay, so now the next question is, yes, go ahead, Sachidanand, go ahead.
I humbly request we should continue on the topic which you were carrying from last time. We are going a little bit here and there, and then 7:30 will come. That's my request.
Okay, and the topic was basically how the concept of how a soul, because it goes beyond rebirth, doesn't necessarily get dissolved or doesn't mean it is fully realized. That was the point that I had made. But I think the point is already made, right? Is there a question remaining on that?
I think the point is made. I think you were also going to elaborate a little bit on Bhakti Yoga.
Yes. Okay. Thank you for reminding me. I will do that immediately now.
Thank you.
But let's take a question from Naresh Chand and then I will go there. You muted yourself.
Okay. My question is about Shudras. Aren't we all Shudras before we are born or immediately after birth?
No, not necessarily.
Okay.
From birth itself, some souls can be of a higher awareness.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So now let's go back to the point that Sachidanand mentioned. And the point is that we were going to talk about some aspects of how the faith in God in different places have been expressed. The most interesting element, in the Hindu system, when they do real prayers, if any of you have taken the time to understand the meaning of prayers, okay, right within the meaning of the prayers, it is trying to tell you that the nature of existence is of such and such, and the idea of God is the source of everything. It is teaching you everywhere. Yet what happens? People become attached to Babajis. People feel this is this thing. Oh, that person is God. You know how many people, God-men are there in India, and people will say, oh, this person is God. That kind of this thing, right? So in the Vedic system, I'll explain to you a few, a handful of items which reminds you everywhere. First is, in fact, in every puja system in India, they use a certain hymn called the Purusha Sukta. And everyone uses it in every puja, this thing. In that Purusha Sukta, it says, what is the nature of Purusha? It starts with Sahasra Shirisha Purusha, Sahasraksha Sahasrapad, Sabhumim Vishwato Vritva, Atyatishthad Dashangulam, Purusha Evedagum Sarvam. So the thing is basically, if you know the meaning of it, it is basically telling you what is the nature of God. So that is what it is teaching you right from there. Now, similarly, there is another one called Narayana Suktam, which is also chanted. And that I have said before, in that one specifically, where the soul is Adho Nishtya Vidasyante, Nabhyam Paritishtati Jwalamala Kulam Bhati Vishwasyayatanam Mahate. That also explains. Now, it is very interesting that from the perspective, you realize that these two hymns that I said are simply descriptions. They are not a prayer or anything. You're not asking for anything. You're not worshiping anyone. Okay, you're simply describing. Now, the thing is, there is one particular place where you worship someone. And this is what is called the Rudram Namakam, the Rudram Namakam part, where everywhere you are giving, they call it as the 300 names of God. And each name you do namaste to. Namo Hiranya Bahave Senanye Dishan Chapate Namo Namo. It goes on like that, right? So when you go there, this thing, you say the person who has golden arms, Hiranya Bahave, I do Namo to you, Namaste to you. Like that, you do 300 namastes to 300 names of God of Shiva, as they say. But people don't realize that as you go down the names, you will hear Agre Vadhaya, one namaste to one who has done, who has killed before. Dure Vadhaya, one who will kill again. And then it says namaste to one who is Hantre. That means one who gets killed. No, Hantre is the one who kills. Hantre Haniyase. So one who is also getting killed is also God. So in other words, what is happening is you'll go for namaste to one who is the blade of grass. Namaste to one who is the bubble in the water. Namaste to one who is the grain of sand. This is what the Namakam chants. You see? So the thing is, you see, everywhere, if you go into the Vedic system and how you do, the point that is made again and again is don't get your mind caught up in the smaller way of thinking what the nature of existence and God is all about. It is because of the God's intent that everything has come out of God in creation. Everything in creation is also because it has come from God. There is a representation of God in there. However, that in itself is not God. The totality and outside everything is what it is. So that is the reminder everywhere. And so that is why when the number of these things are put together and you focus on it, that is how you can realize this thing. And of course, in the Namakam part, that I mentioned it again a previous time, is towards the end, you say, Aham me hasto Bhagavan. In this hand is, in my hand is Bhagavan. And then the next sentence says, Aham me, in me, Bhagavat Taraha. I have more than Bhagavan. Okay. And aham me he vishwabhe shejigam shiva bhimarshanaha. So in other words, you have the ability to go beyond all of that. So this reminder comes again and again in so many traditions, and in the Vedic tradition in so many places. But because you don't understand the meaning of it, we somehow make our self smaller in terms of saying this, and this devata and all of those things. But in reality, the ultimate is far beyond all of it, and yet everything is an expression of the ultimate alone. So with that, I will close over here, but if there are any burning questions, I can still take a question.
That was very nice explanation. So,
Dr. Rajan, I have a question, please.
Let Sachidanand finish.
Oh, thank you.
So what I was going to say, that what you have explained is very good and is correct. But normally from North, when we were not taught in that much Sanskrit, but it's just the same in Ramayana, or just in the morning we do prayer. Karagre vaste Lakshmi Karmadhe Saraswati.
Yes.
To Govindam Prabhate Kardasan. So it is the same gist, but you explained it very nicely. Thank you very much.
And that is the reason we always look at the hand after meditation.
Correct.
Because that's where we connect.
Yes. Yep.
And so go ahead, Shakuntalaji.
I have a question that how do we reach to the point of self-realization that when you realize that I'm a pure soul, I'm a spiritual being having a human experience, is it when you are doing meditation sincerely and consistently, then you reach the higher state of consciousness, then you start realizing, or is there any other way?
That is the way. I'm going to answer it, but let me see what question Vedji has so that I'll answer both questions together.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay. So my question was, I asked you earlier and you said we'll get to it some other time, is the vibration where I was saying when you do on the head, at the top of the head, that vibration, it seems to flow back into the...
Okay, I'll answer that question too, no problem. So first, Shakuntalaji's question. The key part is, how does Atma Vidya increase? Only if the Atma Vidya increases, you can have self-realization, right?
Yes.
So how does it increase? It increases by questioning. You see, you face a situation in life that bothers you. And when can you question the cosmos? Only in meditation. So meditation is the key. And what is the meditation? Meditation is silencing of all the external things within you that are coming from outside. So let's understand the process of meditation, and then this also connects into Vedji's question. The process of meditation is, there are too many. Yeah, I'm going to mute everyone, so that's fine. We won't have disturbance. So the process of meditation is when you don't let your mind go away from anywhere and it stays still. That is when it's meditation. So how do you begin the meditative process? First, by focusing somewhere and holding the focus there. If you hold the focus there, then after a period of time, it gets so absorbed and bored with it, completely mind goes mindless. That is where meditation starts. So when you go mindless state and you're in that state, what happens? You have a question in your mind, you ask the question, and that question is able to transmit out of you. Why is it able to transmit out of you? Because we have a transmitter within us that is there just inside the sternum. And this also connects into Vedji's question. What happens is, we have 5 levels of nadis. The 3 highest nadis which are important the highest is the Atma Nadi. The Atma Nadis point from the top of the head, coming along the front of the body. And this is where in the front of the body, just under the skin and bone, is the transmitter, what we call the Atma. And from there to the navel is the area where you have Atma Vidya and all your programs are sitting. And from the navel, the Atma Nadi goes completely to the back of towards the spine. And this is where ability to sense beyond the what you see, the sensory perceptions come. These are all the areas of siddhis. And then along the spine, it goes down till the sacrum bone. And that is the part where you can understand what you sense. And from the sacrum bone, the nadi, the Atma Nadi projects into the pubic area. That is where you're able to project intent. Okay, and that is also the zone of procreation. Now, this is called the Atma Nadi, which carries the Udana Vayu, or the connecting into the cosmic intelligence. Now, this is the highest Nadi. Second Nadi is from the top of the head down to the perineum. That is where we are doing the chakra vibration. And that one is called the Sushumna Nadi. And the Sushumna Nadi is actually the empowered, or it activates by the right side and the left side Nadi. The left side Nadi is called Ida Nadi, right side Nadi is called Pingala Nadi. The left side is your inner being, the right side is your external, what hits you. So both of that mixing together makes you who you are at each moment through the Sushumna Nadi. And that is where you have the 7 chakras. And the Sushumna Nadi and the Atma Nadi meet at the top of the head. And so when a person is in a state where they are completely let go and the nadis are open, that is when in that state slowly the awareness starts coming towards the Atma Chakra. Actually, the sternum is also called, behind the sternum where the transmitter is, it's also called the Atma Chakra. So in the process of self-realization, how it happens is all the process of not self-realization alone, but not being reactive. It happens in the stage where first from an unthinking behavior to the selfless, to the self-centered nature, to the humanity or the society-centered nature, then to wonderment, what is beyond. And then when you get assumptions, this is what existence is all about. That is what is in the middle of the head, the Ajna Chakra. And when you let go of that too, that is when you come to the Sahasrara Chakra. And when you're in the state of letting go, that is when you become eligible to go towards the realization of the Atma Chakra. So the Atma Chakra is considered the 8th chakra, and each of the other chakras have a particular orientation. Muladhara, unthinking; Swadhisthana, self-centered; Manipuraka, group-centered; Anahata Chakra, in the chest is humanity-centered; throat is the seat of wonderment, what is beyond the physical world; Ajna Chakra is the seat of assumptions that satisfy you of what is beyond the physical world. And here is letting go. And then here in the sternum, Atma Chakra is understanding that you're an instrument of the divine flow. You're born for that purpose to fulfill, but at the same time, you're affected by nothing. You're not this body at all. That understanding comes here. So to answer Vedji's question, when we are here and we are truly let go, slowly the awareness will come towards here. This is the process that pretty much most yogis go through. From this process, the awareness begins to descend and come over here. That's where all the, if we look back at all the top yogis who have gone through, this is how they have gone through. That is the pathway to answer Vedji's question. Now, coming back to Shakuntalaji's question, once because this is where the transmitter is, a transmitter can activate only if there is energy coming. Now, the third important nadi in our system is what is called the Mukhya Prana Nadi. The Mukhya Prana Nadi comes from the back of the head, what is called the place where you keep the shikha, right? So the place where people usually keep their tuft of hair there, right? So from there all the way along the spine down to the tailbone, that is the part that is called the Mukhya Prana Nadi. So that part, you can think of it as correlated with the central nervous system. Okay. And now what happens is the central nervous system is the governor of energies in the body, because the nervous system is controlling where the blood will flow, how much oxygen will happen from the respiratory rate, how much the heart will pump, and where the blood will go, because that is where the nutrients are carried for the local production in each cell of its energy, right? So the thing is, basically, this is the regulator of the energy in the body. So this Mukhya Prana Nadi is connected into every chakra. The chakra is in the middle of the body, but the tail end of it is in the Mukhya Prana Nadi. That is where each chakra receives its energy from the connection into the spine. And what happens is, when all of those are reasonably silent, then in which case there is enough spare energy to activate the transmitter within you. And so what we are doing is, in deep sleep, we automatically communicate. Whereas on the other hand, when you're in meditation and you silence the whole system, right? When you silence the whole system, that is, there is no more thoughts. So the only thing that may be happening is, when you meditate, they will say, keep the stomach light, don't eat a lot. Why? Because that way, even the digestive process needs energy. That is also minimal, nothing, very little. And in yoga, there is a concept called Kevala Kumbhaka. The concept of Kevala Kumbhaka is as if there is no breath happening, no inhaling or exhaling happening, which means the energy system in the body, the utilization is very, very little. In that state, what happens? A transmitter is ready to activate because there is energy available. At that point in time, when does it happen? Every mind is fully shut off, everything is quiet, and you ask a question, what is this all about? Then the connectivity will connect, transmitter will activate, and you will get the answer. Now, that is why we need to regularly practice meditation. And if you have any questions in your head, ask the question, let go. And the answers will come in due course. And when they come to you, it is like you know the answer, but you don't know how it came to you. And very often what happens is, in sleep, when you wake up after a deep sleep, answers will come too. So has anybody here had the experience? You had some question before going to sleep. You wake up in the morning, you know the answer?
Yes, it happens.
There you go. So this is how. Okay, too many people are.
Dr. Ratan,
Yeah, I have muted everyone, so one person talk, please.
yeah, I wanted to check. That means you explained everything. Thank you very much. That means chakra meditation is very important to do every day.
A chakra meditation removes all the conflicts that you have between the external environment and whatever internal program. By keeping that clean, it becomes easier to meditate.
Meditate the Om meditation, then it is better to do both chakra and Om meditation every day.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. You explained so nicely. You really clarified. Everything is very good. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Somebody else was going to say something. I had to mute everyone. Go ahead, Raksha Patel.
Is Atmanadi involved in a meditation? Because you said it is behind the Shikha here.
No, Atmanadi is not behind the Shikha. That is the Mukhya Prana Nadi. From the Shikha down. The Atmanadi is behind the sternum.
Okay, so this Mukhya Nadi, this one involved in a meditation? Atmanadi? The one behind the head?
If you have ears, then you will know. I've told you that is the Mukhya Prana Nadi. You keep repeating it as Atmanadi.
Oh, sorry. Mukhya Nadi. Okay.
Mukhya Prana Nadi is the source of energy in the body. It has nothing to do with, meditation, except that when the rest of the body is not consuming the energy, then that energy is available to activate the transmitter in meditation.
Okay.
So we'll close over here. Namaste, everyone.
Thank you very